BDS is a major problem. You should not just simply brush it away. It's an extremely major problem, and the reason it's a major problem is it's a type of warfare. It's economic and cultural warfare against the state of Israel, and it is effective. On college campuses in America, we're on a college campus tonight for the Chazak annual event at Queens College in, of course, Queens, New York. It is a major problem on campus, and if we don't recognize it as a problem, we're not going to know how to address it or to fight it. Now, Roger Waters of Pink Floyd fame is really the one who pushed this, I think, more than anyone in the world. And people like him, and there are many, have been listened to and have gotten adherents, have gotten people on their side. And it's up to us to explain to people that the state of Israel is helping the Arabs. As a matter of fact, I was down in various plants in Yehuda and Shomron and the Judea and Samaria, where only primarily Arab workers were working, and SodaStream factory. I mean, it was in Mala Adumim, and the people that were benefiting the most were the Arabs of Israel. So by creating a boycott against Israeli products, you're actually hurting the Arabs more than anyone else. But that's not the whole problem. The whole problem is that it's a form of warfare, and if you don't recognize it as a form of warfare, you're not going to know how to address it. Now, people like Jay Leno are brave enough to go to Israel despite all the calls they might have gotten from BDS supporters like Roger Waters. I know the story of Paul McCartney of the Beatles fame. Paul McCartney was called by Roger Waters. Roger Waters knew him very well, and he told Paul McCartney not to go to Israel. And Paul McCartney didn't listen to him and went to Israel anyway. So we have a constant struggle on our hands. We do have friends. We do have the ability to fight BDS as much as anything, but we have to put our minds to it, and we have to focus on it. And college campuses is really where the focus has to be the most, because the college campuses is where the young and the impressionable are situated, and they are the ones who are the next generation and the next generation. So we must educate the young that this is a form of warfare against the state of Israel. It has been used against many other countries besides Israel in the past. Right now, the focus is on Israel, even though Syria, Afghanistan, no matter where you go, there's a problem. Libya, and yet BDS is only against Israel. So this is the problem. We have to address it, and the city of New York and the state of New York are addressing it, as a matter of fact.
We don't hear any word from the President of the United States. He's quietly from the last 8 years.
The President has been a tacit supporter of BDS, in my view. When products are labeled, and he allowed for the label of products from Israel to be labeled specifically from Israel and from Judea and Samaria particularly, when a President of the United States allows that, that's giving a carte blanche, that's giving a acceptance and allowance for BDS to move on, to move forward. So the President has done an injustice against the state of Israel, against the Jewish people, and against the world, because by accepting this labeling, it is an injustice, a major injustice, and it should never have happened.
About the Europe, do you think Europe wake up now?
I don't think Europe is awakening yet. I really would like to see Europe awakening. I don't see it yet. I honestly don't see it. I don't see Great Britain changing its tune with the BDS. I don't see France changing its tune with BDS, although Holland has made Islamic terrorism a focus, which he never did before. Ever since the first attacks in Paris, before this last attack in Brussels, but before the Charlie Hebdo attacks, Holland already was changing his tune, and that's an amazing feat, and that's an amazing change. But I I don't see it enough. I don't see a major. I see Jews still being persecuted in France. I see the state of Israel still being criticized for a lot of things that they should not be criticized for.
What do you think?
France is one of the major countries pushing for a PLO state at the United Nations. So despite France feeling now the effects of radical Islamic terrorism, instead of saying and putting two and two together, they haven't done that. They're still forcing Israel at the United Nations to accept a PLO state, and they're part of the Security Council, and they are pushing this forward despite everything that's going on. So I'd like to see that change, of course.
Yeah, but we're talking about Europe, and let's don't forget, also United States suffering with a lot of radical Islam.
United States has suffered. We just had it in San Bernardino, California. We had a major terrorist incident. We've had 9/11. We've had many events over time, and the New York City Police Department has done a lot to quell this and stop this and prevent this. But they are making inroads in America. Sleeper cells exist, and unless police departments and other agencies, Homeland Security, really get together and get their act together, share intelligence with Israel, share intelligence with every other intelligence agency, until all the intelligence is gathered and we are able to obtain the intelligence so that we can prevent problems. Until that happens, it's a scary time.
It's a scary time when we're going to finish with this election.
This election is going to be around terror. There's no question. This election already shows signs that it will come down to who the best commander-in-chief is going to be to protect American citizens and America, and against ISIS and against Iran and against all the terrorist countries, terrorist operatives, etc. So yes, this election will come down to that. I think Brussels was a major blow to the world order and definitely ratcheted up the issue of security in America in the presidential race. So yes, it will be essential to have a president that understands the terrorism that exists in the world today and calls it by the proper names and doesn't censor even a French premier who used the word Islamic terrorism and had it censored out of his particular quotation. So I believe that this election will be centered a great deal around security.
2008, there's a man that called Barack Obama. He was a senator, come to Israel and say, if what happened in Gaza, if it was happening in the United States, when he got election to be a president, it's opposite. So who are we going to believe?
Well, you had to know Senator Obama going in. I never believed for a minute that he was going to really protect America against various forms of terrorism. As a matter of fact, President Obama has probably encouraged Muslim Brotherhood in America more than any other president ever. He has allowed Muslim Brotherhood to take over the State Department to a large degree. He has allowed more immigrants who have Muslim Brotherhood ties than any other president into this country. So despite all his pre-election statements and promises, I think those of us who knew more about him realized that they were going to be false, and unfortunately, we were proved correct.
Do you believe Donald Trump?
I do believe Donald Trump, believe it or not. I know that a lot of people are skeptical, but I know him longer than most people. I've known him over 30 years. Not intimately, not close, but I remember very well talking to him at Senator Alphonse D'Amato fundraiser back right after Prime Minister Menachem Begin, bombed the Osirak reactor in Iraq in 1981. So I remember D'Amato coming out, being really the only senator that came out forcefully in favor of the bombing and called Menachem Begin a hero. And Donald Trump was there. I know that Donald Trump was there. I did not get the impression that Donald Trump disagreed with Senator D'Amato. I only got the impression that he agreed. So I do believe that Donald Trump is capable of being able to stop the terrorism that it now exists. I think that he'll scare away half of the terrorists right away, right off the bat. And the other half we'll have to deal with. ISIS we're going to have to deal with. But I do believe he's going to be very focused. And as much as one can do, and I think that he will do everything in his power to wipe out ISIS. I think he'll do everything in his power to take care of Iran once and for all, and not allow Iran to fire off ballistic missile after ballistic missile. So I mean, there are others that Ted Cruz is a reliable individual. He will do, I think, a great job against terrorism. The immigration issues are, as I was just explaining, you know, there's legal, there's illegal. Illegal immigration will be stopped by any of the Republican, I believe I would say for sure by Ted Cruz and by Donald Trump. The issue will be the legal immigrants, how that vetting process takes place. As I said, President Obama has allowed many adherents of the Muslim Brotherhood. After Sisi took over Egypt, all of Morsi's followers left for America. So what happens is, and Morsi used to live in America, so there's a lot of Muslim Brotherhood going on over here, and that has to be stopped. And that type of situation also has to be addressed. It's not just the illegal immigration. Now, if someone has ties to Muslim Brotherhood, I don't think he should be allowed into this country. It's that simple. You know, I don't know if Donald Trump agrees with me or not on that subject. I don't know. I believe that that's a serious problem, you know, for all of us, Americans, all of us who live in America. But again, it's all of these issues have to be addressed. It's not just the people coming out of Syria who are refugees, you know, in a war-torn country. It's not just them. And there are plenty who are, you know, associated with ISIS that are coming in through that route. There's no question. That's already been proven.
But the question is if Hillary Clinton is going to be the next president, she's going to be like Barack Obama?
Yeah, I don't see Hillary being that much different than Barack Obama on these issues. No, I don't see her being that much different. I mean, she may be more aware of some of this going in, but I don't think she'll be that different than Barack Obama has been in regards to what we were discussing. She's for the Iran agreement, so you're not going to see anything happen there differently. Immigration, you know, she's for immigration. She's not going to do much about stopping it from Mexico, I don't think, or from Syria for that matter. As a matter of fact, I think she'll allow more from Syria in. So all of that is, you know, it's just, we've seen it all before. It's just going to be a repeat of what we've seen for the past 7 years. But, you know, maybe the country's waking up and you'll see a different type of president coming up, you know, we'll see. We'll see what happens. It's not been an easy process. I wish it were a lot easier than what has been. It's been one of the most nerve-wracking processes I've ever been through. I mean it.